What's up, everybody? Julian Hall here, Ultrapreneur TV, at the Ultrapreneur everywhere on the web. Today's question is, how do you actually make money from a business idea? Now, I know that there's a lot of you out there who have an idea for a business, but you're not quite sure how you're actually going to make money from it, right? So to get to the point, I'm going to tell you a story. About 10 years ago, no more, maybe 13 years ago, one of the first businesses I did, which is the thing that got me out of corporate eventually, was Google marketing. I was invited to my first, it felt like it was my first networking event. And at the end of it, someone said to me, "Oh, Julian, how do I get more business using Google?" So I kind of looked down at my feet, kind of shuffling my feet, and started to answer the question. And, you know, I was saying, oh, you could do this, you can do that, and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, I was rambling on, and then as I looked up, there were 10 people hanging off my every word. And about a week later, I closed my first client. I wasn't even going to sell. I was just going to tell them what I could do. And I remember I spoke really passionately for about 2 hours about Google marketing, right? And at the end of it, she said to me, "You know what, Julian, you could sell ice to Eskimos." And she wrote me a check. I looked at that and I thought, wow, I wasn't even trying to sell to you. All I was doing was telling you what I knew about the solution to your problem. This to me was like a eureka moment. I thought, my goodness, if all I have to do is tell people and inform people about what it is that I can do to help them, and that then in some magical way sells to them, then that's great. So, summary of that piece, the moral of that piece is that if you know your stuff really, really well, if you really do know your stuff, then it inspires people with the confidence to use you, because people want the best. Like, nobody wants to buy mediocre nowadays, because we kind of don't have to. Like, excellence has come down in price, so people are looking for people who are really good. And the only way you can tell, the only way you can let people know about how good your stuff is, and if you've got a great track record and tons of case studies, that's one way, but is to inform them, is to communicate to them what it is you know about that product or that service and why they should use you. Okay, cool. So let's say you've got to that point where you are now the daddy of your industry, of your niche. You know it all, right? And the next question is, how do you scale that? How do you, so, oh, this is the position I was in. I was thinking, right, cool, well, I can do this with this one business owner, but how could I create a multiplying effect, right? So we're talking now 2004, and I heard about this thing called blogging. It's like, my goodness, this is great. So what I did was I blogged my heart out, and I wrote articles on exactly how people could use specific Google marketing strategies for their business, right? And I just laid it bare. I told them exactly how they could do it, right? Because it was the only way that I could inform people about what it is that I knew en masse, okay? Now, the question is, today, and the question was back then, is, Julian, why would you tell people exactly how to do something, right? Because aren't they just gonna go off and do it themselves? All right, and my answer to that is, if your accountant told you exactly how to do your accounts, would you do it? Probably not. If your car mechanic told you exactly how to change a really delicate part on your car, would you do it? Probably not. If a lawyer told you exactly how to, you know, write some complicated agreement for a multi-million-pound deal, would you do it on your own? No, you probably wouldn't. And the reason why you wouldn't is because you don't want the burden of, one, having to do something new, and two, more importantly, doing something that is not your core expertise. But The value in them explaining and articulating why or what it is that they can do means that it now builds your confidence. And people only do business with people that they feel confident about. If people understand what it is you're doing, you remove all the smoke and mirrors, it instills a confidence, it instills a trust, and those are two of the most important factors to decide for someone to decide whether or not they're gonna do business with you, right? So that is it. In a nutshell, if you want to sell your thing, become an expert at it, is what I'm saying. Because one thing we do know is when people are doing research in Google or wherever about something that they want to buy, we know that the majority of those searches are informational searches. People are doing research about something before they want to buy it. So if you've got any questions for me on that, because at the end of the day, selling is hugely important, because if you cannot, as an entrepreneur, sell, then you kind of don't have a business. You can have the best idea in the world, which a lot of us have, but if you cannot sell that idea, then you actually have no business. But I think in telling a story about what it is you're doing, that is a very interesting, approachable, digestible way of getting your point across. So that's it. Julian Hall, Ultrapreneur TV, at the Ultrapreneur, everywhere on the web. I'm out of here. Peace.